गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णुः गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरु साक्षात् परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां वन्दे गुरुपरम्परां. We are in the Dvitiya Khand, which is the second chapter of the first part of the mundakopanishad, and we are looking at the second verse, or we have finished looking at the second verse. Yada lelayate hyarchihi samidhe havyavahane tadajya bhagavantarayana ahuti pratipadayet. And here we saw that when the flame is the fire is lighted in the Agni Kund, and the fire is alive, then we have to put things correctly in the fire, where it is to be offered, how it is to be offered. Then there are three places, as we told you before, that one has to be offered to the right side, some are offered to the left side, and some between the flames. And anekaha, it was told. Why ahuti? Aneka means plural. Why many? Anek means many. Why many ahutis were told, or why ahuti is said to be in plural? Because as this is done many a day, 3 times a day you have to put ahuti, or every day you have to do the ahuti. Therefore, it is told in plural. Now we are in the third verse, and the Sambandha Bhashya, the connecting verse commentary by Adi Shankaracharya is given here. And here it is told, those who do not follow the karma properly, what is the bad result that they get? That is being told here. Esha samyak ahuti prakshepa adi lakshanaha karma margaha loka praptaye panthastasya cha panthaha tasya cha samyak karanam dushkaram vipattayastvena eka bhavanti katham. So here it is told that now this karma marg, where different the different ahutis are put, it demands that everything should be done perfectly well, otherwise you will not get the correct karma phala. And therefore the what do you mean by it has to be done perfectly well? The the right mantras have to be chanted, the ahutis should be placed properly, and there are many different do's and don'ts that go along with the karma kand. In short, what is told here is pantaha tasya cha samyak karanam dushkaram. In short, it is very difficult, as some or the other difficulty or mistakes are bound to be made. And what are the difficulties that are made, because of which the karma phala will not be gained, that is given in this third mantra. So, and here now we have to be very careful. We are studying Upanishad. What is the purpose of the study of Upanishad? In this particular one, Para Vidya or Apara Vidya. Para Vidya we have seen, and now Apara Vidya is being talked about, and in Apara Vidya, the Apara Vidya can never deliver you the supreme reality. Apara Vidya can only take you to the various lokas, the high, Satya Loka being the highest, and that also only when you do the karma marg properly, correctly, chant the mantras correctly, means every word that comes out of your mouth while you are working, while you are talking, while you are interacting, that is also karma. All actions that are being done, all thoughts that are being entertained, all of them should be synced. Then there is a possibility of the heaven. And here it is told that as much as you may, dushkaram, that as much correctly you may be following it, but in this particular period of time, or any period of time, karma marg is entailed with many difficulties, and mistakes are bound to take place. And therefore we come to the third verse. Yasyagnihotramadharsham adarsham apaunamasam achaturmasya managrenam atithirvarjitam cha achaturmasya managrayanam atithirvarjitam cha ahutam avaishwadevam avidhina hutam avaishwadevam avidhina hutam asaptamanstasya lokan hinasti Did we do this verse? Anyone can tell me?
No, Swamiji.
No, we didn't do it. Okay. So, the Agnihotra darsham, Pauranmas. So here, remember, in the verse it is said, Ahagnihotram, the one who is not offering the ahutis to the fire. Adarsham is not overseeing that. Apauranmasam, he is not following the Pauranmasi vrat and all those things. Achaturmasyam, he is not following Chaturmasya. And Agrayanam, and he is not following the Agranam Paddhati, or what is that? Atithi Varjitam, and the one who is not respectfully accepting unannounced guest coming into their house. Then and when in your life, whenever the various yagyas, pujas, havans have to be done, and when they are not done, that is ahutam avaishwadevam avidhina, and not done properly, and what happens to him? Asaptamanstasya lokan hinasti. Such a person for 7 generations, or such a person's 7 generations are destroyed. That means they do not go to heaven. Then what happens to them? They come back to human birth. So let's see what they narrate here. Adi Shankaracharya says, now word by word he will take. यस्याग्निहोत्रिणः अग्निहोत्रम् अदर्शाख्येन कर्मणा वर्जितम् अग्निहोत्रिणः अवश्यत्कर्तव्यत्वाद् दर्शस्य अग्निहोत्र संबंध्य अग्निहोत्र विशेषणमेव भवति तद् क्रियमाणम् iti etata. Tatha, one moment. I'll read over. Tatha तथा पौर्णमासम इत्यादिषु अपि अग्निहोत्र विशेषणत्वं द्रष्टव्यम्. अग्निहोत्रांगत्वस्य अपि शिष्टत्वात् अपौर्णमासं पौर्णमास कर्म वर्जितम्. अचातुर्मास्यं अचातुर्मास्यं चातुर्मास्य कर्म वर्जितम्. आग्रयणं शरदादि कर्तव्यं तच्च न क्रियते यस्य तथा अतिथिवर्जितं च अतिथिपूजनं च हि अन्यहन्य क्रियमाणं यस्य स्वयं सम्यग् अग्निहोत्रकाले अहुतम्. अदर्शादिवद वैश्वदेवं वैश्वदेवकर्म वर्जितं. हूयमानम् अपि अविधिना हुतं न यथाहुतम् इति एतद् एवं संपादितम् अग्निहोत्रादि उपलक्षितं कर्म किं करोति इति उच्यते. All this is the same point which is being made again and again and again and again, and what it says is that the one who is doing this karma means adarsham, means that these are different karma, etc. This darsha karma is essential to be done every day, and the Pauranmasa karma has to be done every full moon. The various vratas have to be put when Amavasya comes. You have to do what you have to do at that time, and those who do not do it, they are called Agnihotram. There. So who are these Agnihotram? See, everywhere was added. Agnihotram, Pauranmasam, Chaturmasyam. In this way, those who are, remember what we said before, that the person, what happens to these people, though, because there are so many difficulties and they give it up, or they don't do it, or there are mistakes made and they're lazy for practicing them, then what happens to such people? That is being told here. So here you will see that there are 5 words which fall into the category of adjectives are given, and they are Agnihotra. It is not something specific. Why? Because Agnihotra is of 2 types, Nitya and Anitya karma. Nitya is what? Like bathing, brushing, hygiene, etc., fresh clothes twice a day, shower, etc. That is Nitya karma. Anitya karma is what? That which is done intermittently. One day you shave, after 2 days you shave, and or alternate day you shave, and that is Anitya karma. Anagrayanam, this is the third adjective. Anagrayanam, it means ahuti, which is not offered to the Lord when the harvest is full. Now harvest means what? Whenever your karma is done completely, then we should offer it to the Lord in some way or the other. Don't own it that I did it, I achieved it, you who, and forget everything else. Then atithi varjitam, I already told you, but means a guest is to be honored every day, and when that is not done, then we are doing what? Anagrayanam, means again is added to it. Atithi varjitam. So atithi varjitam. So we are not doing the honoring of guest every day. Then fifth is Avaishwadevam means when food is cooked and it's not first offered to the god before consuming, then that is Avaishwadevam. We chant, no? Aham Vaishwanar Hode. Mantra hai na apna Gita mein when we chant food. And then when we have done all this, then what happens? Asaptamanasa masa hitanstasya karturlokan hinastiva ayasamatra phalatvat samyak क्रियमाणेषु हि कर्मसु कर्म परिणामानुरूपेण भूरादयः सत्यांताः सप्तलोका फलं प्राप्यन्ते ते लोका एवं भूतेन अग्निहोत्रादि कर्मणा प्राप्यत्वाद् हिस्यन्तम् इव आयासमात्रं त्वव्यभिचारीति इति इतः हिनस्ति इति उच्यते. So here he said that what happens when these 5 things are not done, then it is told that when they are not done properly, we get karma. When they are done properly, first when they are done properly, we get the karma phala from bhulok to satyalok. Bhur bhuvatva swaha tapa janamaha satyam. So seven lokas. So this is the karma phala, depending upon how well you have done it, what you have done, have you followed the dharma to the T or not, all that will depend. These are all the bhu is the earth plane, and everything else is the from the lower to the highest heaven. Highest is the Satyalok. He asaptamana, where are we? Asaptama he tanstasya. So he means indeed. He means necessary. He means important. All these lokas will be gained by him, by this Agnihotra, who has not, if he has done them properly, but if he has not done them properly, then the result of going to the heaven will never be gained. And what happens when you go to the heaven? Hunger, thirst, old age and death, heat and cold, all this you become immune to. So if we don't do the karma kanda properly, we will not get the heavens. If we do them properly, but that is very difficult to achieve in this day and time. So then what is the point? Why you are telling? Only when you understand what is the shortcomings of the karma, then we will give up karma. All that will be explained as we go ahead. Hold on. Now, one more thing that is left is Pinda Danadi Anugrahena va Sambandhyamanaha Pitru Pitamaha Prapitamaha Putra Pautra Prapautraha Swatma Upakaraha Sapta Loka Ukta Prakarena Agnihotradina Na Bhavantiti Himsayanta Iti Uchyate. And here what it is told is another meaning of asaptamana is that usually the 3 generations, the earlier generation, the present generation, and the following generation are, or in other way, pindana. The previous 3 generations are honored, and you are, and by whom, and you are there sitting doing the pindadan of the earlier 3 generations, and you are sitting there with the following 3 generations. your son, your son's son, and yourself, the three. And this is a great joy when the three generations living are able to offer or are participating in the ceremony of the pinda, which is being offered to the three generations who are no longer existing in their physical form. And so what is asaptamana? It means the joy of seeing the three earlier and the three later generations. That is asaptamana. And here it says, concluding that so when we are not doing the pindadan according to the way it has been mentioned in our scriptures, then all these this joy is destroyed. This joy is destroyed. Now, what are these 7 flames of the Agni, of the fire? That is the topic in the next verse. When husbands look at their wives, they say Kali, Karali, Mahakali, Bhadrakali. So here the word comes from here in the Upanishad. Kali, Karali, cha manojavacha. Kali, Karali, cha manojavacha. Sulohitaya cha sudhumravarna. Sulohitaya cha sudhumravarna. Svulingini Vishwaruchi cha Devi. Svulingini Vishwaruchi cha Devi. Lelayamana iti sapta jivhaha. Lelayamana iti sapta jivhaha. Together. Kali, Karali cha manojavacha. Sulohitaya cha sadhumravarna. Svulingini Vishwaruchi cha Devi. Lelayamana iti sapta jivhaha. So what are these 7, the names of the 7 flames, the 7 tongues of fire is given here. That they are Kali, Karali, Manojava, Sulohita, Sudhumravarna, Sphulingini, Vishwaruchi. These are the 7 tongues of the Agni or fire. The Bhashya says, Kali, Karali, Kali, Karali cha manojavacha. Sulohitaya cha sudhumravarna. Svulingini Vishwaruchi cha Devi. Lelayamana iti sapta jivhaha. Kalyadya Vishwaruchyanta. Lelayamana agnir havirahuti grasanartha eta sapta jivhaha. So here, these are we have already told you what the names are. So these are the 7 tongues of fire which consume the food offered. That same fire, one is outside. When you think you are the body, when you take the world to be real, these flames have to be invoked in the Agni Kund, Sapta Jiva fire. Same way, these 7 fires are within us also, and that will be shown afterwards. And after these ahutis are offered, how they take us to Swargalok is explained in our next mantra. So we'll see. Now, so just before we get confused and get where are we going, from where were we, where is this karma kand going? So let's now put a recap, a short recap, and we have to understand that karma kand in one's life is to accept self-accepted discipline. Is to accept self-accepted discipline. And what happens when we have self-accepted discipline? It helps us to control ourselves. Then we will not behave licentiously, then will not speak unnecessarily, then will not give opinions unnecessarily, then will not act where we are not required to act, etc., etc. What is that authority which gives us or which tells us or imposes or guides us with these limits? What is that authority? Why should we listen to any other authority? That is the dharma. Remember, dharma, artha, kama, moksha. So foundation is dharma, and dharma is given in the Upanishads. This Upanishad is only telling us about the Agnihotra and everything. How to chant Om, etc. was given in Prashna Upanishad and even in Kathopanishad. So it is dharma. When we live a life of dharma, when we do all activity with dharma, and we with the foundation of dharma, we do the karma. And karma is rajoguna, dharma is sattva guna, and it is to overcome the tamoguna, which is the rajas. We have to invoke the rajas in order to overcome the laziness, lethargy, procrastination in our life. Watch yourself. How many times in a day you say that, yaar, kal kar lenge. We'll do it tomorrow. What is required to be done, that you have to prioritize and do it. And try and finish it that day. Therefore, to invoke karma, which is being performed with dharma, which is righteousness, is essential in our life to come out of laziness and lethargy. See? But now one problem is there. What is that? I am giving a lecture, you may not be able to give a lecture. You are running a family, I cannot run a family. So everyone cannot do everything, isn't it? So one needs to do everything, to do this Agnihotra. Here Agnihotra is being talked about, and through that Agnihotra you make yourself qualified to be able to do the Agnihotra, to be able to do the Karma Kanda, and for that Karma Kanda, so just because I am born a Brahmin, or I am born a Kshatriya, or I am born a Vaishya, or I know the mantras, so I will do the Homam, or this and that, that is not a qualification to do the Karma Kanda. And remember, one more thing was told. Our life is not limited to this body alone. There is life after death. We are talking about Karma Kanda. Karma Kanda is done in the relative. We are in creation, Apara Vidya. And this life is not the end in all. That will be the philosophy of the Vaisheshikas. We are not into that. So we know that our life is not that we are born that way in our Hindu culture or Sanatan Dharma or the Vedic culture, where this body is not the end in all, and therefore we all know, knowingly, unknowingly, somewhere in the depths of our heart, we know that by doing good karmas we go to heavens, and by doing bad karma we go to hell. And in this way, it is a very important point here that by our karmas we go to heaven, by our karmas we go to hell. See? So, conclusion is what? We are responsible for actions in our life. Action happens at 3 levels: body level, speech level, thought level. We are responsible for action. We cannot blame anyone else. And when we take this responsibility that I am responsible for all the actions that are taking place in my life, then we do not blame anyone else. In that blaming, in that resentment, in that dislike, it will lead to all that. Why did he do that? Then we go into self-pity. Why he did it to me? Why No, we are responsible. And therefore, in the Karma Marg, this is a very, very pertinent and important point, that we become responsible for our actions. And therefore, we work on our existence beyond the limits of this body. And when we work towards the destination, towards our existence, which is beyond the limits of our body, then and only then our Karma Marg is beneficial to us. Karma Marg cannot take you to the truth. It can purify. But those who do not understand about the purification, then this is the one. But when you are thinking about something higher, afterwards it will tell you how to bypass the heaven. That will come on later on. But right now you understand step by step that if you are practicing the karma kand in your mind, you are doing as much as right, the manasa vacha kaya, you're doing correctly. When you're doing the various agnihotras, etc., all that we had just explained, that it will be beneficial only when our attention is on something higher. And right now for us, higher is going to heaven. And then continuing. So how, by practicing agnihotra, etc., we can attain the heaven is told in the 5th verse. Repeat after me. Eteshu yascharate bhrajamaneshu, eteshu yascharate bhrajamaneshu, yatha kalam chahutayo yadadayana, yatha kalam chahutayo yadadayan, tam nayantyeta suryasya rashmayo, tam nayantyeta suryasya rashmayo, yatra devanam patireko dhivasaha, yatra devanam patireko dhivasaha. Together. Eteshu yascharate bhrajamaneshu, yatha kalam chahutayo yadadayana, tam nayantyeta suryasya rashmayo, yatra devanam patireko dhivasaha. That person who at the correct time, with the ahutis, with the offerings, offering to whom? To these lighted fire, the 7 tongue fire, he lives his life in that way, in that manner. Then while doing that, the sun rays, this is not to be done at night, this is to be done in the morning, afternoon and evening, 3 times. But what is the subjective approach, that we'll tell later. The rays of the sun, so the rays of the sun take this person to the abode of the gods, that is the heaven, and the lord of the heaven is Indra. This is the result of doing it properly. Let's see what he says. Eteshu agni jivha bhedeshu yo yah agnihotri charate karma charati अग्निहोत्रादि भ्राजमानेषु दीप्यमानेषु यथा कालं च यस्य कर्मणः यः कालस्तत्कालं यथा कालं यजमानम् आददायन् नाददाना आहुतयः यजमानेन निर्वर्तिताः तं नयन्ति प्रापयन्त्येता आहुतयः या इमा अनेन निवर्तिताः सूर्यस्य रश्मयः भूत्वा रश्मिद्वारैः इति अर्थः। यत्र यस्मिन् स्वर्गे देवानां पतिरिन्द्र एकः सर्वानुपरि अधिवसतीति अधिवासः. So what does he say here? He says that when these seven eteshu agni jivha bhedeshu, when these seven flames are coming out of the Agni Kund, there are the Agnihotri charate karma charati Agnihotradi bhrajamaneshu deepyamaneshu. So there are different oblations for each of these seven flames, and that comes in the mantras. Yatha kalam cha yasya karmanah ya kalas tat kalam yatha kalam yajmanam adadayan nadadana ahutayah yajmanayana nirvartitastam nayanti, and it goes on. So what does it mean? Yatha kalam cha yasya karmana ya kalas tat kalam yatha kalam. That at the proper time the things must be rightly done, at the right time, at the right place, with the right attitude. Just like, example is not given here, but we can give an example. Just like when a glass of given at a right time can save a person's life. And that glass of water at the right time is worth $1 million. In other words, when we justify our wrong actions as right, is the first mistake that we make, and justify it as spirituality. We are all guilty of it. Now these ahutis are given to the seven flames, and when it is done at the right time, at the right place, at the right attitude, is very important. That you are not busy looking at the cricket match, what is IPL going on, what is the prasad being made or not, or if the people are talking or not. No, your mind should be, attitude is the most important here. And if all these things come together, then the yajman, the person who is performing the Agnihotra, that person then the ahutis, when the ahutis are offered, the tongues of the fire are offering them to the gods. And when your attitude is right, then that they lead the performer of the Agnihotra by taking them by the way of the rays of the sun, in the form of the rays of the sun, and take the yajman to where the Lord Indra is abiding or staying. And when they are taking the yajman to on the way from where the Agnihotra is going on to the heaven, what are these ahutis talking to the yajman? That is told in the next verse. Katham suryasya rashmibhir yajamanam vahanti iti uchyate. How these ahutis take the yajman, the performer of the Agnihotra, to the heaven, and on the way what they speak to him, that is being told in the sixth verse. Ehye hiti tamahutaya suvarchasaha एह्येहीति तमाहुतय सुवर्चसः सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिर्यजमानं वहन्ति सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिर्यजमानं वहन्ति प्रियां वाचमभिवदन्त्योर्र्चयन्तः अर्चयन्त्य प्रियां वाचमभिवदन्त्योर्र्चयन्त्य एष व पुण्यसुकृतो ब्रह्मलोकः एष व पुण्यसुकृतो ब्रह्मलोकः. टुगेदर. एह्येहीति तमाहुतय सुवर्चसः सूर्यस्य रश्मिभिर्यजमानं वहन्ति प्रियां वाचमभिवदन्त्योर्र्चयन्त्य एष व पुण्यसुकृतो ब्रह्मलोकः. What do they say? They say, come, come. These ahutis, these lighted, these the ahutis we have offered, and they are coming up as they're making the fire glow brighter, and with that the mind of the yajman is, or the yajman is being taken away. They say, come, come, please come. And you have attained this, you have achieved this by your sukruta, by your good deeds. You have achieved this, and this is the heaven. This is here it says Brahma Lok. Actually, it is the heaven, and this way they in very sweet voice, and this voice is coming from inside your mind only. Remember, and they are very with any very sweet cajoling voice, they are praising the yajman, the performer of the Agnihotra, and they take him to the heaven. एह्येहीति आह्वयन्त्यः सुवर्चसः दीप्तिमत्यः किं च प्रियाम् इष्टां वाचं स्तुत्यादिलक्षणाम् अभिवदन्त्य उच्चारयन्त्यः अर्चयन्त्यः पूजयन्त्यः च ऐष वः युष्माकं पुण्यः सुकृतं पन्था ब्रह्मलोकः फलरूपः. So it says, they say, come, 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 and they are take with these wonderful, beautiful, cajoling words of praise and respect, and to the words of Yajman. They take the Yajman, they do the puja of the Yajman along the way, and they say that you have earned it by your mettle, you have done the hard work, you have done the hard yaka, and you deserve an entry into the Swargalok, that is Brahma Lok, that is told here. But the and up to here the karma phala is given. And as we said, that this is a trap. This is a trap. We have to get out of it. That will be told later on. And what is that? So it's is the voice within telling you that I did it, I'm feeling good, oh, it is so wonderful, I think I'm reaching heaven, everything is, my body is still, my breath is almost not going, my mind is very light, it is effortlessly happening, I'm getting pulled into some higher realm. All language is inside only. The eyes are getting withdrawn inside, the sound of the surrounding is becoming null and void, in spite of in the middle of the crowd. Sometimes it happens to us, isn't it? Don't fall for the trap. These things do happen. So why it is told to us here? So that we can understand that these things happen, and then we can balance them and go beyond the heaven. We can go beyond the ahutis and the heaven. एवं प्रियां वाचम अभिवदन्तयो वदन्त्यः वहन्ति इति अर्थः ब्रह्मलोकः स्वर्ग प्रकरणात्. Remember one thing, karma is the root of all problem, because there is a karta born and karta doesn't exist. He is a ghost who has taken charge of our life. We are essentially the witness, but we are accepting ourselves as the doer. So then, how to give up this ego? Many people are not able to understand. Are you Arjuna who could easily, without doing anything, understand the Bhagavad Gita and come to the ultimate and say, Karishye that I'll do as your will? I have got no doubts and suspicions left in my mind. Are we like that? Or are we still beating our horn after the satsang? I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to achieve this, I have to achieve that. I have to organize this, I have to organize that. This is trumpeting. Or quietly going through whatever life is presenting, face it, deal with it. So here it is told, this karma marg is given, apara marg is given, because till the ego is there, till the doership is there, do the karma properly, and when you have done it properly, it will leave you automatically. Or with understanding, you will give it up. With understanding. Not under the spell of ignorance. And that is the reason the karma marga is being condemned here. And that is the next topic. Karma without knowledge, the condemnation of the karma without knowledge, which is without understanding you are doing something, is being condemned. It says, प्लवाह्येते अदृढा यज्ञरूपा, प्लवाह्येते अदृढा यज्ञरूपा, अष्टादशोक्तमवरं येषु कर्म, अष्टादशोक्तमवरं येषु कर्म, एतत् श्रेयोऽभिनन्दन्ति मूढा, एतत् श्रेयो येऽभिनन्दन्ति मूढा, जरा मृत्युं ते पुनरेवापि यन्ति, जरा मृत्युं ते पुनरेवापि यन्ति. Together, प्लवाह्येते अदृढा यज्ञरूपा, अष्टादशोक्तमवरं येषु कर्म, एतत् श्रेयो येऽभिनन्दन्ति मूढा, जरा मृत्युं ते पुनरेवापि यन्ति. Plava vinashina iti artaha. We'll just go into the bhashya. Plava means vinashina iti artaha. Means that which plava means destructive. What does it mean? He यस्माद् एते दृढ़ा अस्थिरा यज्ञ रूपा यज्ञस्य रूपाणि यज्ञ रूपा यज्ञ निवर्तका अष्टादश संख्याकाः षोडशतर्त्विजः पत्नीं यजमानः चेति अष्टादश. So the result of, so why we are saying that plava means destructive, and what does this destructive means? That which is taking us to heaven, they are temporary. Results of karma can never be permanent. They can never be permanent. And that which cannot, and the karma can never give us 100% fulfillment all the time, throughout life. It is not possible. Having said this, give up the sense of doership then. This is the condemnation. That they cannot, the ahutis are not permanent. They can only give us a temporary joy. They cannot give you permanent joy. You go into meditation, joy. You come out of meditation, again the same world. You eat food, joy, satisfied. After some hours, again hunger. अष्टादशाष्टादश संख्याकाः षोडशर्त्विजः पत्नीं यजमानश्चेति अष्टादश. There are, this is the technical thing that was there, there are 16 purohits. Who are these 16 purohits? Purohits means priests. For our language, we'll use it as priests. Those who perform the yajnas are called purohits. And who are these? They are 4 from each Veda, plus 2. So 4 fours are, so Rigved, Yajurved, Samaved, Atharvanaved, 4 from each, that makes it 16, and 2, Yajaman and his Patni, the performer, the for whom the puja is being done, and his wife. So that makes it 18. And till these 18 are there together, marriage cannot be conducted, any other havan, etc. cannot be conducted. Etad ashrayam karmoktam kathitam shastrena where are we? येषु अष्टादश स्ववरं केवलं ज्ञानवर्जितं कर्म अतः तेषाम् अवरकर्माश्रयाणाम् अष्टादशानाम् अदृढतया प्लवत्वात् प्लवते सह फलेन तत्साध्यं कर्म कुण्डविनाशादिव क्षीरदध्यादीनां तत्स्थानं नाशः. It says that the etad ashrayam karmoktam kathitam shastrena, scriptures say, scriptures again the Vedas, the scriptures say all karma are dependent on these 18. So 4 purohits from each shakha of the Vedas, each Vedas, not shakha, each Vedas, 16 plus the yajman and his wife, the doer of the for whom the puja is being done, who has taken the responsibility of conducting this puja or havan. And without these 18, the puja cannot be, the Agnihotra cannot be completed. Therefore, Agnihotra is dependent on these 18. Therefore, it is the word here, the important point is dependent. And that which is dependent cannot be complete, cannot be perfect, cannot be free, cannot have the capacity to give you permanent fulfillment. Connect the dots. Therefore, it is destructible. Yata evametat karma shreyah karanamiti ye abhinandatyabhi rishyantya vivekinaha mudha अतस्ते जराम च मृत्युम च जरा मृत्युम किंचित कालम स्वर्गे स्थित्वा पुनरेवापि yanti bhuyopi gachanti. Therefore, plava, remember the word plava meant that which can be destroyed, that which is destructive. Therefore, this karma is destructible. Therefore, karma with karma phala. When karma is destroyed, karma phala will also be destroyed. It will not be conducive. There will be no karma phala. Just like here example given, just like when a pot is broken, then the contents are also destroyed. Yata evam etat karma shreya. But there are many karanamiti ye bhi nandantyabhi. So there are many fools. Here it says that there are many fools who only imagine doing karma is important in life and feel happy by doing it. If we have chanted the Bhagavad Gita in the morning, we are happy. We must do it. But attitude is necessary. Attitude is, it is for chitta shuddhyartham. I am providing for my children. I am providing for my grandchildren. I am doing my exercise. I am doing my yoga. I am doing my pilgrimages. All this is apne muh miya mittu. This is how the ignorant people think. They imagine that doing karma is the most important thing in our life and they feel happy doing that karma. Meaning they feel happy doing the duty, taking the responsibility, doing the provisions. This is the sign of a foolish person, ignorant person. Why it is being told? So that we recognize, are we going the wrong way? Is while doing the karma, while the activity is happening through us, through this body, breath, mind, and speech, is our attention on the reality or is it on the karma? This alertness and vigilance should come about. Therefore, these points are being made. Therefore, it is being condemned that karma as such cannot take you anywhere. Straight to your grave, that's all. And what next? Again birth, again go through the hardship, again learn the shlokas, again chant the Rudram, again do the pilgrimages, again listen to the lectures. You have to be free of it. We want to realize. But to realize, first, addiction to duty has to be given up. Does that mean I do not take care of my mother? I do, to the best of my ability. But attention is not on I do. A child is crying, a mother doesn't say, oh, it is my child, I have to feed it. Automatically, the response comes out of the mother. Similarly, in and through every action, our automatic response, we have to program ourselves this way by listening to satsangs, that our attention straight away goes to the reality rather than the karma and the karma phala or the heavens. This topic should not come in our mind. And how it is to be done? Only through Brahma Abhyas. Only through Brahma Abhyas. Aham Brahmasmi Abhyas. All our thoughts should be oriented into thinking how I am that supreme reality, how I am the all-pervasive, how I am the one in all and all in one. Remember the few verses before in the previous chapter which dealt with the the Apara Vidya. Our attention should be there. Our attention should not be, oh my God, there are 7 flames. Oh my God, the flames, the ahuti is going into the flames, and then the flames going up, and it is taking the Yajman to the heaven. Wow! Shut up. Get out of your mind. It's only a story. It is an imperfect story. The perfect story is you are that in the presence of whom this whole thing is going on. You are the witnessing consciousness. That is the true story. But we enjoy the paraphernalia. We get caught up in the paraphernalia. We start enjoying the paraphernalia and then start taking the paraphernalia to be the phenomenal, to be the truth. That is why we are still here. जरा सोचिए, think. Only by doing Brahma Abhyas, which is Paravidya, will we be able to get out of the Apara Vidya. In other words, very simple language, you will be able to get out of the Prakriti. Prakriti is all the Panchakoshas. Nobody is saying don't do karma. Nobody is saying don't do jnana. Yoga, sorry. Don't do yoga. Nobody is saying don't do Agnihotra. Agnihotra, Kundalini, Kriya Yoga, Ashtanga Yoga, Japa Yoga. All this is Agnihotra only. Nobody is saying don't do that. But it must lead to Brahma Abhyas. It must lead to the contemplation of who am I. It must bring us to a point of such purity in our mind and then in that purified mind, while this whole process is on, don't think that once it is purified, then I'll think of Brahma. I'll think of the reality. It will not happen. You have to think of the reality at the body level. Because of the reality the body is, because of the body the Ashtanga Yoga is going on, because of the consciousness the pranayama is going on, the Kundalini is going on, because of the Kriya Yoga is going on, because the consciousness is there and that I am in its presence, the Japa Sadhana is going on, the purification of the mind is going on. And once it is purified, then there is nothing to remove, nothing to release, nothing to empty anymore. Chitya Shuddhartam has taken place. Mind becomes quiet. But because you have practiced in and through that in the presence of the pure consciousness, the witnessing consciousness, these activities were happening, you don't forget that you continue to be that witnessing consciousness. Before you are thinking and performing that I am the pure consciousness. Now, when all thinking has abated, become quiet, naturally, effortlessly, the witnessing consciousness remains. This is the only way to go beyond Prakriti. Therefore, yoga and Gyan both have to go hand in hand. It is not that first I do yoga and then I'll do Gyan. Then you will get, if that is the way you follow, you will get caught up in siddhis, you will get caught up in name and fame, you will get caught up in wealth, you will get caught up in ashrams, you will get caught up in making sure that your lineage continues after you, even as a sannyasi. get out of all this. Our purpose here is to realize we have always been the reality, we are the reality, and will continue to be the reality. For that purpose, the shortcoming of the karma marg is being presented here, and therefore the condemnation. Now, in the next mantra, in the 8th mantra, such fools who think karma marg is the ultimate and they enjoy the previous generations and the following generations, they enjoy thinking about the heaven, they enjoy the sadhana that they are doing. Oh, that was a very deep meditation. Oh, I really dive deep into myself today. Self-talk, self-glorification. So if you can glorify yourself, the Upanishad is also glorifying such fools. Very, very famous verse. Avidyayam antare vartamana avidyayam antare vartamana swayam dhira panditam manyamana swayam dhira panditam manyamana jaganyamana pariyanti mudha jaganyamana pariyanti mudha अंधेनैव नीयमाना यथान्धाः अंधेनैव नीयमाना यथान्धाः. Together, अविद्यायामन्तरे वर्तमानाः स्वयं धीराः पंडितं मन्यमानाः जगन्यमाना परियन्ति मूढाः अंधेनैव नीयमाना यथान्धाः. What to say? Now the verse is talking about us. Who are us? Recognize. If you bypass and are not able to recognize, then this verse will make you put a mirror in front of your face. Those who are living in the midst of ignorance and consider themselves to be very intelligent and consider themselves to be swayam dhira panditam manyamanaha. They consider themselves to be very knowledgeable, steadfast and very knowledgeable. Such ignorant fools they themselves are blind and they are leading the other blind people on the blind path because they themselves are blind. What does the Bhashya say? It's like a slap on our face if we are practicing this. And we are, somewhere or the other, we are all guilty of it. अविद्यायाम अंतरे मध्ये वर्तमाना अविवेक प्रायाः स्वयं वयमेव धीराः धीमन्तः पंडिताः विदित वेदितव्याः चेति मन्यमाना आत्मानं संभावयन्तः ते च जघन्यमाना जरारोगादि अनेकार्थवरातैः हन्यमाना भृशं पीड्यमानाः परियन्ति विभ्रमन्ति मूढाः दर्शनवर्जितत्वाद् अन्धेनैव चक्षुष्केणैव नीयमानाः प्रदर्श्यमान मार्गा यथा लोके अंधाः अक्षिरहिताः गर्तकण्ठकादौ पतन्ति तद्वद. So what does he say? He says again same thing what I told you before, living in the midst of avidya or ignorance, but considering themselves what वर्तमाना अविवेकप्रायाः स्वयं वयमेव धीराः धीमन्तः पंडिता वेदितव्यश्चेति मन्यमाना च. So he is living in the ignorance, he is in the midst of ignorance, meaning Apara Vidya, but he is in his head, he is thinking, I am very intelligent, I am a pandit, I am the knower of the scriptures, and I know the truth, and in this way, and doing continuously vidita veditavyashcheti manyamana atmanam sambhavayasyanta tehe cha jaganyamana, and he is praising himself such, thinking that he knows everything, that he has come to know everything, and such a ignorant person jara rogadi अनेकानर्थ वरातैः हन्यमाना भृशं पीड्यमानाः परियन्ति विभ्रमन्ति मूढाः. And such people, they are taking the Apara Vidya, the relativity, to be real, and they consider themselves to know everything, and they consider themselves wise, and they think that they know that they know everything that is there to know. So they are such people. Here it is told, what? Here it is pariyanti vibhramanti mudaha. Vibhramanti means that they are reborn again and again, such people. दर्शन वर्जितत्वाद अंधे नैवा चक्षुष्केणैव, and so on. Here it says, because such people, such ignorant people, they don't have the vision of proper understanding. Thus one blind leading the other blind, and end up in a what is the conclusion? Everyone lands up in ignorance, and what is ignorance expressing as? Doubt and confusion, non-clarity about who they are. Therefore, this part is not there in the Bhashya, but you understand that to remove efforts associated in sadhana, whether you people are doing sadhana in grahastha life, and other people are doing sadhana in their meditative life or spiritual life. But a point must come in grahastha life as well as yogi's life, that the effort must disappear from our life, that everything is on automatic, no efforts. Think about it. When you are most effortless in deep sleep, that time you are blissful. Imagine living a conscious life effortlessly, accepting everything, rejecting nothing, retaining nothing. That's the way. Rather than I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to achieve this, I have to achieve that. This is my responsibility, that is my duty. Listen to this last chapter, Paravidya and Apara Vidya, again and again, so that we are clear how we are caught up in Apara Vidya, how we are caught up in relativity. In other words, how we are caught up in mind under the title of duty, responsibility. So time must come in our life when our efforts must disappear. All efforts must disappear. In deep sleep, all efforts disappear. When you do meditation, initially you begin, I have to sit in meditation, and you do certain pranayama or japa, but does it lead to disappearance of all efforts? Then it is good. If it is not, if you've gone back to sleep, also good. Less trouble for others. One person not speaking. But are you conscious when all efforts disappear? Socho. This will only be possible, this effortlessness will only be possible when we invoke the divine grace in our life. When we invoke the reality, when we invoke the consciousness. You do that through mantra, you do that through self-contemplation, you do that through Aham Brahmasmi Chintanam, contemplation, whichever way, or by God's name. Otherwise, I will remain. Or you follow the Vedanti way that find the correct definition of I. Is it the Gaunatma? Is it the Mithyatma? Is it the Bhutatma? Our goal is that not only in meditation, not only when I am sleeping, that I am happy. I want to be like that 24/7, 365 days a year. That is my nature. It is happening already. I have to wake up to it. That it is me who is always awake. I'm not the one who wakes up and sleep, dreams and vanishes and then goes for some time to deep sleep and comes out. I'm not that one. I'm the one who is continuously awake. When this happens in our life, when this happens for a grahastha in his life, or when this happens for a person who is doing his meditation or japa or whatever sadhana he is doing, then there's no headache, then there's no numbing of legs, then there's no hang up after meditation. I am still in that zone, don't disturb me. Then there is no that zone and this zone. You are everywhere. That means you got it wrong when you are on the seat of meditation. These are the refinements that we need to bring in our attitude. And all this is being told to you as a precaution because we are caught up in Prakriti. We are caught up in relativity. Forgetting that we are the reality. Dwell over it, think over it, how you are other than the one who was born and who is going to die, who is growing. You are other than the father, mother, daughter, sister. You are the other than the jiva who is expressing through this body. You are other than all the hats that you are wearing. You are none of them. All our hats are in the relative. You are the absolute one. Claim it, be committed to it, dedicate your whole life as a grahastha or as a sannyasi or a yogi, does not matter. This method, this instruction is for everyone. In other words, Don't, oh Swamiji, you are sannyasi, we are grihastha. You are doing harder work than me. With so much responsibility. These two paths of grihastha and sannyas, they are parallel paths in our culture. They are not this against that. It is not one is higher and the other is lower. But at the same time, it is told brahmacharya, grihastha, vanaprastha and sannyas. Yes. But a person who is not prepared for sannyas and takes to sannyas, then he is behaving as a grihastha also. Building ashrams, doing projects. If they are happening effortlessly, good. But here, let's not go into what he is doing or not doing. Here, our important point to remember is what is your attitude, what is your intention every moment for the grihastha as well as the spiritual oriented. Where is his attention? On the spirit, on the pure consciousness, on the witnessing consciousness, or on that which is coming and going. If it is on coming and going, he is caught up in karma. About such a person, some are blind, but some are very well educated. They can chant the whole Bhagavad Gita. They can chant the whole Ramayana, Valmiki Ramayana. They can chant the whole Bhagavatam and Narayaniam. And we have to say, fantastic, wonderful, you are great. But that is not an accolade. That is not a prerequisite to realization. Such people, the scriptures call as more blind than the commoner person. Those who say, I know everything, I have done this, I know this verse, I know that verse. Beware of such people and beware of not becoming one like them. One like such a person, that I know everything. No भैया, I don't know anything. अपना secretly अपना awareness चलता रहे हर समय. With that, we conclude the 8th verse and now we get into the 9th verse, which we'll do in our next satsang, next episode. ॐ पूर्णमदा पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः हरिः ॐ श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः हरिः ॐ. Just sit quietly for a moment. हरि ओम.